everybody? Today is October 31st, aka Halloween. I'm headed to the gym. Because today is my first day back at training from the 7 days off. I did my list cardio this morning, and now I'm going to go do this push 2 session. My mom said she's planning on coming and training with me. She can't get in the door till 4 because they only do the free training days from 4 to 7 on Friday. That's alright. We still have somebody to train with me for the last half of it. And today will be a spooky session, I guess. It's Halloween. Not really, it'll be the same as normal. I treat every holiday, every special day or whatever is the same, because you gotta train whether or not, regardless. What's going on up here? I forgot to check the interstate before I left, so of course it's backed up. That's great, just great. Hopefully it's something simple. It ain't nothing big. This shit it always happens. Always. It's probably some dumbass on their phone or something like that. Damn, I should have checked my phone. Fuck. But yeah, I'm gonna sit through this traffic until I'm able to get to the gym. Hopefully it won't take long. I'll get off of here and look how long it's gonna take after I get off of here. That'll tell me whether I need to drink my my pre-workout right now, or wait. It's not going to give me energy. It's just going to give me, hopefully, a better pump. But yeah, I will see everybody after the workout, and I will let you know how it goes. Bye. Just now leaving the gym. And had a good training session. I got a really good pump on all target muscle groups. And yeah, I'd say it was a good session. I've been listening to a lot of videos about training and everything, and rewatching like the How to Grow series from my coach, Dr. Todd Lee, and one was rewatching, his, right form and everything, and, how to periodize and everything like that. But also I listened to his RIR, rest and reserve training versus failure training. So I kind of thought about it, and I took what he kind of said, like, when your velocity slows down on that last rep, call the set, because there's no point. Like, you're going to gain so much fatigue from those last reps that you're just grinding out rather than stopping. And plus, you don't keep the same tempo. You got to rest. You got to rest for a second to grind that last one out and stuff. So it's better just to keep, that direct way, because I think I was going too heavy before because I was trying to chase the logbook instead of progressing on what I'm doing, you know. It's not about, at the end of the day, you know, I don't really care how much weight I can lift. I care about how big I can get, you know, how much muscle I can have. And if I'm doing shit that's inhibiting my ability to build muscle on subsequent sets, then you gotta cut that shit, you know. You can't just, and like, nobody's going to progress each week, you know, by a ton of reps. Usually. So it's kind of like I've just been making the logbook, like chasing the logbook to beat it. But, you know, you got to, increase your weights or increase your reps over time. But if your form's shit, or it's breaking down on those last few reps, you gotta abort the set when that shit starts to happen, because the rest of the sets you're using other muscles to, instead of training the right muscle, and you're just accumulating so much neurological and CNS fatigue that it wears you down, and you're not able to go as hard on the subsequent sets and exercises. Over time, that just drains you, you know. All that CNS fatigue and neurological fatigue, it drains you. I think that's why my sleep's been so shitty. And one reason why my sleep's been so shitty, and then ultimately, because my sleep has been shitty, my IGF-1 levels are down. Dropping, consistently. And honestly, it's true. Like, what these pros say, I fully believe. It's not about the fucking drugs, it's not about how much drugs you can take and everything to make you grow. It's about everything, everything plays a factor in it. But you're not going to grow any muscle if you don't fucking train the muscle right. If you don't cause a stimulus for that muscle to grow. Like if you're doing tricep extensions, and your shoulders are pushing into it and everything, trying to push the weight, you're not even extending the elbow all the way out. Like, what's the fucking point of doing exercise? Because the point of the tricep muscle in muscle physiology is to extend the elbow. But if you're not extending the fucking elbow all the way, what's the fucking point? That's what I've been trying to do over this past week. Like, not reinvent my training, but kind of rethink it and be critical about it. Because obviously, I don't have the best muscle building genetics. I'm not a Roddy Coleman. I'm not a Dorian Yates. I'm not a Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler was huge when he was 20, 18. Drug-free, Lee Priest was fucking winning bodybuilding shows at 12, 16 years old. They got the genetics, and they, not in their early years, but over time they develop that mind-muscle connection. That's how they grow. You see people in the gym, like they say everywhere. You see people trying to bench press or dumbbell press gotta bench press 180-pound dumbbells? Well, one, you're not fucking as big as Jay Cutler, so why are you fucking pressing 180-pound dumbbells? Like, it's different if you're doing it for strength. If you're doing it for strength, you're trying to mix it. You're trying to lift the maximum amount of weight you possibly can. Okay, do it. You might develop a lot of joint soreness and shit. Hell, you might even not snap joints, but you might get a bunch of joint pain and shit because your joints can't handle all that weight. But if you take a lighter weight and you set up into the exercise the way that your body is supposed to move the weight based on your biomechanics, like if you do a chest press, you keep your chest up, shoulders back, retract your scapula, and push solely with your chest, which you're going to get some anterior, shoulders, anterior delt, triceps in there too. But if you can mitigate and isolate as much as you can the chest muscle, and your chest is going to fucking grow. If you feel a pump in your chest, that's a proxy that you stimulated it. Doesn't mean that it'll grow, but it's a proxy. Because you can get a pump from doing fucking light weight. But if you're getting a pump, you're doing reps that end up getting, close to, maybe even to failure. Now, I'd say that's muscle growth. And like muscle growth, it takes a long time. It takes a long time to grow a sufficient amount of tissue. Can't argue about that, but people want results now, I mean, who's gonna lie? Who doesn't want results now? Who doesn't want that instant gratification? But if you look back over the years and see how far you've come in that time, you'll be more not just grateful, but have a more realization of, I guess, where you came from, where you are now. Because when I first started lifting weights, man, I was skinny as a twig. I mean, I still feel skinny as a twig. But again, a lot of that time, when I was first started, I was probably overtraining. I was doing tons of cardio, tons of weights. My diet wasn't as locked in as it is now. I'm not going to say it wasn't locked in, but it was locked in the wrong way. Like, I was just going to, I was eating the same foods every single day, but I was kind of mixing it up a little too. Like, one morning I might do oatmeal. Oatmeal with, I've always done oats and eggs in the morning. I might do oatmeal with eggs, and then I don't even remember. And then I got it all in the MyFitnessPal app when I used to track it. And then, then I have another meal, at school, which was just like a peanut butter and banana sandwich on Ezekiel bread instead of regular bread. I do stuff like that, and then have chicken, rice, broccoli, chicken quinoa, broccoli, sweet potato, ground beef, and black beans, shit like that. Like, I was still eating healthy food and everything, but now I literally eat the same thing every single day, roughly around the same time. I mean, today's gonna be gym days are a little later because I got to drive home from the gym and everything like that. And my meals at the house. But the good thing about that is you eat it, then you don't have to wait as long until your next meal, That's the way I look at it. And these past 7 days when I had this deload, like, I was kind of getting hungry, from my pre-training meal, my pre-workout meal, and then what is my post-workout meal today. I'd get hungry between that, and then I'd still be hungry between that and my last meal of the day. But like now, I'm not. That's, you know, I'm not starving because I was focusing on training. Which before I was just focused on, you know, okay, the next meal's in 2 hours. I gotta find something to do to kind of get my head from thinking about it and shit. But yeah, happy Halloween, everyone. Sorry I'm not dressed up. Hope everybody has a spooky session, or is gonna have a spooky session wherever you are in the world. And I'm gonna eat my post-workout meal and drink my salty water and try to relax a little bit tonight. I gotta do HIIT in the morning, then train